Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking the front bumper off of this 2018 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. It's got the 1 LED track pack. I'm having issues with the bearings. I had an oil pump failure a while back, so I'm starting to take things off. I got the intake off. I have a Rotofab Big Gulp. It's got some hose clamps and pull up the heat shield off of these 3 grommets right here. Pulls up out of the way. You disconnect the MAF sensor, pull out of the way. Yeah, band clamp right there at the throttle body. I got the supercharger belt off already. It's got a tensioner right down here. I believe it's a 15mm head. I use a wrench, rotate it counterclockwise. But next we're going to be getting the front bumper off of this thing. Take off the wheel liners, the fender liners in there, both sides. That way we can access, there's a couple bolts, I think there's 5, maybe 6 under here. But then we're gonna have to disconnect, I believe, all these screws up here on top. So because these front wheels are going to want to spin, what you can do, or I have all this wood stacked down here just as a preventative measure. I have the jack stands all under there. It's been sitting on this jacks for a few months now, so I'm pretty confident they're okay, but I just throw this extra wood under there, and if you stack some, you wedge one in the back side, it will lock the tire up. Get this off. You have these little Torx bit screws. You're gonna take these off. This one. There's supposed to be one there. That's gone. And then there's a plate down here. This is supposed to be a pop rivet. So we'll get the right size for those. So I'm sure what fell off is all these screws are retained by these clips that slide on. Well, there should be a clip back there, and it's, oh, sounds like it might be in there, but we'll see. So again, there should have been one more down here. I have a bag full of these I bought off Amazon for, I don't know, a couple bucks. It came with like 100 of these because they constantly fall out and get lost. Yeah, and that's what they use. A lot of these fender liners, front and rear, same thing with underneath. There's a bunch of these holding on some of these plastic pieces. Just for me, it was a good idea to buy extra, but so you're just gonna slide it down away from there. It's just a bunch of rocks and debris because these tires. So this is the clip right here that's missing for this. I may find it back behind here, but most likely it's gone, so I do need to buy a bag of these. I'm sure you can find these on Amazon pretty cheap too. Now that that's off, we're gonna come through, do all, there's one up here, right there, there, push pin here, push pin here, another one down there. The little bolts and nuts labeled in labeled plastic bags just makes it a lot easier when you're putting stuff back together. You know exactly what's going where. So I'll start just back here. To buy extras of these two, you can get multi-packs fairly cheap, but they seem to get lost. Work it out from the back here. Guess I didn't need to undo those three. And then you gotta get it in front of these tabs. And then you can work it out like that. Then, as long as everything's disconnected, there we go. Just taking a look underneath here, this is an auxiliary radiator for the engine coolant. I'm going to be removing this, putting in a oil cooler. I'm going to run some -10 lines to a remote thermostat, and then from there it'll go to an improved racing block off plate. I'll get rid of the old or the factory oil cooler. The PWR oil cooler drops right into place. I'll cap these coolant lines off where they come from, and hopefully have some improved temperatures for the engine oil, as well as the engine coolant won't have to cool down the oil. Rocks, pebbles, all kinds of stuff. pull this out past that tab. Gonna push it up and away, get it to roll out of this fender. Got another. There you go. It's a little quicker than the other side. Have this mount, which is missing. That's why I had this disconnected already partially, because the guy who did the work never put this, I think it's the bumper guide back. I have bought one, had never installed it. This thing, I'm guessing, goes in here, so the side markers must not have been working. There's supposed to be 4 bolts. Looks like one up there, one right there, one right there, and one right there. And the guy who worked on the car apparently didn't think those were necessary, so they weren't on there. Same as the other side. So the next thing we'll do is we'll undo this guide right here. So this is the electrical connector for all the lights on the bumper. I plugged this back in just to give you an idea how it's all supposed to be routed. This thing's about ready to come off. I've already taken all these torque screws off the top here along with the push pins. All you're going to do is, it's got all these alignments, you just pull this thing forward both sides and it slides right off of the top of this. See, this thing is coming forward. Comes right off. Thing's actually pretty easy to take off. Like I said, it's the fender liners are probably the longest part. Then you have these 4 up here, the guide right there, the electrical connector down there. Oh, we got the bumper off. This is all wrapped up for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video and we'll get the supercharger taken off. Thanks.